Scotty Scheffler wasn't just another name on Team USA's roster, he was the crown jewel, the unshakable world number one carrying the weight of a nation into Bethpage Black. The Ryder Cup was meant to be his coronation, the stage where his dominance would silence Europe and ignite the American crowd. But instead, it became a nightmare ridden in headlines. From the opening match, something was off. His swing tightened, putts slipped out, and frustration began to crack his composure. By Friday, whispers turned to worry. By Saturday, it was history for all the wrong reasons. Scheffler, golf's model of calm and control, became the first world number one ever to lose all 4 Ryder Cup matches. 4 starts, 4 losses, no excuses, no luck to blame, just a complete unraveling under the harshest spotlight in golf. For fans, it was disbelief. For analysts, it was anatomy of collapse. The Ryder Cup has seen heartbreak before, but never the fall of a giant quite like this. For Team USA, it was humiliation. For Scotty Scheffler, it was a scar end for golf. It was a storyline that refused to fade, because when the world's number one crumbles, the sport itself trembles. But just when it seemed like the disaster was complete, Scheffler grabbed the mic, looked straight into the cameras, and said words no one expected, turning defeat into revelation. Bethpage Black, a course infamous for its brutality, didn't deliver its pain from bunkers or rough this time, but came from the crowd. The same fans who were meant to lift Team USA became a relentless army of hecklers, their chants cut like blades, sarcasm dripping with venom. What began as passion turned into hostility. By Saturday, it wasn't golf, it was chaos set to music. Even America's golden boy wasn't spared. Act like it, they jeered, mocking the world number one as boos and insults echoed across the fairways. Scheffler's composure cracked, shoulders tightened, focus faded, and every missed putt fueled a new storm of noise. It wasn't Europe beating him anymore, it was New York. The Ryder Cup devolved from competition to spectacle, with every grimace and misstep replayed endlessly online. The meltdown became viral, magnified, merciless. Yet when the final putt dropped, Scheffler didn't hide. He faced it all: the chaos, the failure, the world end. What he said next changed everything. He spoke, and what Scotty Scheffler admitted next cut deeper than any heckle ever could. The silence after his words hit harder than the chaos that came before. Just weeks later, that same man stood on a different stage and delivered one of the most jaw-dropping performances golf has seen all year. At the 2025 CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, Scheffler didn't just win, he dismantled the field. Opening with a blistering 61 and following with a surgical 66, he built an 8-stroke lead that left the rest of the leaderboard gasping. In front of his home crowd in Texas, the world number one transformed a regular PGA Tour event into a masterclass in calm, precision, and control. Every drive split fairways, every approach attacked flags, and his putter was ice cold. Commentators scrambled for comparisons. Fans lit up social media, and whispers began: was this Scheffler's Tiger at Pebble moment? Maybe not yet, but it was a statement. The slump was over, and the quiet storm had returned. After months of near misses and pressure building around his winless 2025 season, Scheffler finally reminded everyone why he's the best in the world. The question now isn't if he's back, it's how far this run will go. His consistency throughout the season proved his world-class caliber, but the lack of a victory only intensified the pressure. The 2025 CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, at TPC Craig Ranch in McKinney, Texas, was more than another stop on the PGA Tour. It was a proving ground. Returning to his home state, Scotty Scheffler faced a field that included strong names like Jordan Spieth and Sung Ga Im. And while the competition wasn't the deepest of the year, the expectations on the world number one were sky high. Adding to the challenge, unpredictable Texas weather wreaked havoc, softening greens with heavy rain and halting play for nearly 6 hours due to thunderstorms. Yet, amid delays and distractions, Scheffler remained unshakable. He opened with a record-breaking 10 under 61, then followed with an 8 under 63 to reach 18 under through 36. Holes, numbers that didn't just lead, they dominated. His composure through the chaos showcased why he's considered the best in the world: focused, fearless, and methodical. By the third round, he carded a steady 5 under 66, extending his lead to 23 under, and building an 8-shot cushion, the largest 54-hole lead on the PGA Tour since Rory McIlroy's iconic 2011 US Open run. Even with a few hiccups on holes 4 and 11, Scheffler rebounded instantly, closing strong with back-to-back birdies that silenced any doubt. Heading into Sunday wasn't just about winning, it was about reclaiming his dominance and reminding everyone that when Scotty Scheffler finds his rhythm, the rest of the field is simply playing for second. Notably, Scheffler drove the green on the short par 4 14th, setting up a simple tap-in birdie, then followed it up with a laser-precise tee shot on the long par 3 15th that stopped just 4 feet from the cup. As daylight faded, Scheffler and his group chose to finish the 18th despite the horn sounding for darkness. From the rough, he launched a controlled approach onto the green and calmly two-putted from 31 feet to close out the round. That moment, choosing focus over fatigue, summed up his week. Scheffler's composure in tough, fading light conditions reminded everyone why he's the best in the world. Heading into Sunday with a commanding lead, the question wasn't whether he could win, it was how big the margin would be. His third-round clinic wasn't just another highlight, it was a turning point. The whispers that he'd lost his edge, that the spark was fading, silenced. Scheffler's performance at the CJ Cup Byron Nelson didn't just restore confidence, it reignited dominance. The FedEx Cup race shifted overnight, his points surged, and suddenly the summer stretch looks like Scheffler's stage once again. And make no mistake, Rory McIlroy and Jon Rahm are watching, quietly, knowing the storm has returned. Scheffler just set the tone again, and now everyone else is playing catch-up. Vegas noticed Tubi for the CJ Cup. He wasn't even the outright favorite for the PGA Championship, but that's changed fast. The odds are tightening, analysts are buzzing, and the conversation has shifted from if Scheffler will win again to how many times. His calm, unshakable demeanor makes him a sponsor's dream, but for competitors, it's a nightmare. In a sport where pressure breaks most players, Scheffler never flinches, his swing stays pure, his mind steady, his focus unbreakable. One analyst nailed it: he doesn't flinch, he doesn't break, he just buries you. What we're seeing now isn't a hot streak, it's controlled dominance. A near-flawless tournament played through weather delays, fading light, and elite competition, all without a single emotional crack. If this is how he responds to early season pressure, imagine what's coming at the PGA Championship hand later. The Ryder Cup. A return to the top of the FedEx Cup standings seems inevitable, but what's truly on the line is legacy. Because greatness isn't built on one weekend, it's forged in how a player sustains brilliance when the world expects it. So here's the question: are we witnessing the rise of the Scheffler era, or just a flash of brilliance? Either way, buckle up, because if this level becomes his norm, golf may have just entered a new age. Golf may have just entered a new age.